My people. Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Yolanda and on this channel, you know what it is. We talk about true crime happening in South Africa and around the world while sipping on some beverage and eating on some food, some snacks. You know the drill. Now, before we go anywhere, please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to comment down below your thoughts. And click on the notification bell for any videos that will be uploaded in future. Before we get into the story, you know the drill. Today we will be sipping on some best malt. Yeah? Best malt, marula something. It's non-alcoholic, by the way. A lot of you guys have been commenting that, hey, Yolanda, you drink too much, you are a drunkard. No, this time, this correct. We are drinking non-alcoholic drink, you understand? And we will be eating some jollof rice. This is not store-bought, of course. We've got chefs in the house. My sister made this. It's jollof rice, some chicken, and some potato salad. So let's feast. Let's get right into it. So on today's story, we'll be talking about, guys, this man, the man was all sorts of sick. We'll be talking about one of Japan's most well-known cannibals. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking about Issei Sagawa. So, Issei Sagawa. Issei Sagawa was born they were very hot though. Issei Sagawa was born on April 26th, 1949. In the town of Kobe in Japan. And he says for as long as he can remember, he has always had cannibalistic urges. And also that he had fantasies about eating human flesh. Now, when he was born, doctors believed that Issei would surely die because he was a smalangana baby. He was very small. He was quite weak and he was very frail. So they believed, oh baby boy, he would die. And also that, you see this is my small palm. He could fit into a small palm. So Mugai, he also had several life-threatening diseases, including enteritis, which is a disease of the intestines, and it was really not good for him. Mugai has always had a very difficult upbringing. As a child in J, he had so many complications, like in general. So Issei left his home on his 28th birthday, and he left to go to Paris to study comparative literature at the Sorbonne University in Paris. There he met Reneé Hartevelt. He met Reneé Hartevelt, who was a Dutch linguist studying in the same university, and she was studying towards her PhD in French literature. Okay, so Issei then invited Reneé to his place. He said that he needed assistance with some German poetry. I guess she's Dutch. So some reports say that Issei wanted Reneé to teach him how to speak French, because she's the girl that she thinks she is. But in a way, Reneé, man, she went offside by visiting this guy. He was different. He was creepy, but unfortunately, she didn't see her death coming. Some people suggest that this was actually Reneé's second visit to Issei's house. The first time she went there, they were getting to know each other. But remember, this is a true crime story. It's not a love story. So, when Reneé visited, obvious, the first thing that comes to Issei's mind is he wants to kill her. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen because he was not brave enough to do it. He attempted to shoot her while she was looking away, and he just couldn't bring himself to do it. It was also said that when Issei was 15, he tried to seek for psychological help, but it didn't help at all. So he continued just to live in his own bubble of fantasy and continued to lust after flesh. Human flesh, not animal flesh. And finally, 32 years of craving for human flesh, Issei committed his first crime. And on June 11th, 1981, Issei takes a rifle and he shoots Reneé point blank in the back of the head. Just like that. He just shoots her, and it was alleged that he shot her immediately after she rejected or refused his sexual advances. Weird and creepy. And on top of that, not only does he kill her, after he killed her, he raped the corpse. I don't know what kind of sick man does that, but the dude was all sorts of sick. He was sick in the... It's as verkeerd hierso. And after he raped this body as well, my people, this guy, he kept Reneé's body in his apartment. He kept the body in his apartment because he wanted to feast on the body. So he kept her body in the apartment for the rest of the weekend before fulfilling his cannibalistic desires, basically. Creepy? He was. Now, getting deeper into this sick man. The first thing he does, point number one, the dude, he cuts into Reneé's right buttock, like the bonbon. He cuts into the buttock, continues to cut, he continues to slice, and And reports say that he said that the more he was cutting into her buttock, Akira, her buttock it's fat. So he was cutting, and he was recorded saying that the fat within Renee's buttock resembled corn. He said it resembled corn, and he cut deeper into the buttock. And then after cutting deeper, when he finally got to, the red part, like the meat, reports suggest that he whooshed his finger and he threw the meat or the flesh, but no, it's not flesh, the meat inside, the bum. He threw it in his mouth, and this is a moment that he regarded as quote unquote historic. Now, if that's not a level of sick that I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm done. And he was also recorded saying that his only regret. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing. But this was. It was traumatizing for me to read. He says that his only regret was that he did not eat Reneé alive. Oh, no, I'm done. Reports say that immediately after he cut into her buttock. Okay, now he's proceeding to other places. He cut into her legs, sort of carved into the flesh, as if she resembled pork or she resembled ngama cow, ngama sheep. He started cutting into her legs. And then he also cut, I don't know what he's doing there, but he also cut her nose breast, like, this part, you see my nose is quite big. He cut the breast of the nose. The graphics are just too traumatizing for me to put them there, but it was extremely disturbing. It was disturbing. It was crazy. And he also cut into her right hip, and reports say that he also cut into the flesh, and he ate the nose and the flesh, quote unquote sushi style. So what this means is that dude took chopsticks as he's cutting into the flesh, the what he's taking a chopstick, he putting it inside the mouth, like, I can't do. No. Some reports also suggest that Issei was quite surprised that, I cannot remember, he kept the body at his apartment for the rest of the weekend, so now the days are going. Reports say that Issei was surprised that the body had not decomposed. So the sick man, he continues to sleep with Renee's decomposed body, and he also continued to cut into it, meaning more pieces of flesh to eat, more pieces of flesh to collect, as if he works at a butcher. And I would say that after a few days, Renee's body started to develop a very repugnant stench. So, let's say a dog dies in the street, you leave it there for a few days, it starts to have that elapunga, that, so you can imagine with a human's dead body. Dude, he started contemplating on how now to get rid of what he regards as quote-unquote a bothersome body. Bothersome kanjani when you were cutting inside the meat, eating it, sleeping with it. Suddenly now it's bothersome? No. It is verkeerd hier. It is wrong. You saw. Dude had already eaten or frozen most of pelvic region. So now again he's tired of the body. The body's smelling. So dude purchases 2 suitcases. Then he takes her legs and her head and he stashes them inside the suitcases. And then immediately he does that. Now he's planning on how to get rid of the body. Then after that he hikes a taxi. Okay. And his destination was at a local dump site, but reports say that this was opposed by many onlookers. Sharp. Climbs taxi. Before he climbs taxi, like usually he's small, he's special, he's not strong. And he's very, so he's struggling to carry these 2 bags. So immediately the taxi stops. Taxi driver comes out to assist him. Hey, okay, let me come and assist you. And then when the taxi driver carries the bags, he jokingly said that, "Wow, dude, why are these bags so heavy? Are you carrying a dead body?" Announced to him, Renee's decomposing body was indeed inside the bags. Again, that was his first attempt. His second attempt was to go dump the body at the Bois de Boulogne, which is a peaceful lake in Issei. But he struggled even there because, remember, point number 1, he's small. He's quite small. He's quite different. He's small, probably smaller than Ananias Mati. He was small, and the bags they're quite heavy. And remember, we're in France. He's a Japanese man, so people could easily distinguish that he's not from that country. So dude goes to Bois de Boulogne. Okay, shovel. Carrying the bags are heavy. He got tired, decided to put the bags down and walked away from where he left the bags. Then after a few moments, somebody screamed, "Hey, somebody's bags are here." And then now he remembers, again, he left the bags there. He ran because now he knows what's inside those bags. He wanted to throw the bags into the lake, but because he's frail, he's tiny, he couldn't throw them over, so he ran away, leaving this huge problem and huge mystery to French police. Issei was then apprehended 4 days later by local French police, and they found the evidence of his crime inside his apartment. Obviously, he turned the apartment into a butchery, so obvious. He was arrested again. Then he was kept in prison in France for like 2 years. So they placed him in a mental asylum as a quote-unquote untreatable psychotic. So yeah, dude was probably He was not innocent. He was sick. He was just sick. He was all sorts of sick. So it was widely believed that his father, Issei comes from a very wealthy family, no? So it was widely believed that his father, the father had paid Ladem Zanzi City, George, or what? He paid some money for his son to be, deported back to Japan. He provided legal assistance so that his son could be released. And then, obvious, the man he was wealthy, he was well known, he was big. And Issei comes from like those families, those prominent families, so obvious. I want a chance excuse me, something was not done behind closed doors in order for Issei to be released. So Issei was deported back to Japan, and upon his arrival in Japan, Japanese psychologists, they said that the French doctors were sick. He said he ain't got no brain problem. The only thing he had was a personality disorder and nothing more. A person that cuts into people's noses and then he eats them. He only has a personality disorder. Wow. So thereafter, he was kept at a mental asylum in Japan. So the charges against him, in France, they were dropped. Remember, allegedly the father paid like a small something. He bought them cold drink on the side. So even the case filed now, they were missing. So Japanese authorities, they had no choice. They had no choice but to let this psychotic man go. And on August 12th, 1986, Issei Sagawa, he walked out of the Matsuzawa Psychiatric Hospital. And to this day, that creepy old man, he's still free. But what's sad about this whole story is that no justice whatsoever was served for Reneé Hartevelt. To this day, nothing has been done in regards to the case. No evidence whatsoever has been found. So basically, Issei he killed somebody and walks free. His life is going well. I mean, talk shows, media publications, calling him for the interview, and his life is going well. It is alleged that he has written about 20 books, and he also claims that his intention was not to kill Reneé. All he wanted to do was to eat her. And Japanese authorities still see nothing wrong with this. Like, he's a good man. He's a wealthy man, a very diligent man of their country. Nothing was wrong in what he did. Whereas he killed someone's son. He killed someone's daughter. He ate her. And still, it's a good thing. Now, in one of his interviews, he was being interviewed again, and then they took like an ad break. Shapo, interviewers overheard Issei's conversation with his brother. Shab, the brother asked, okay, if you were given the opportunity to eat me, would you eat me? The interviewers then said that the only thing Issei did, he just looked at his brother and said nothing. Meaning he just looked at him. Meaning, Jay, look! You are meat. You are a meal, a whole snack. So that is it, my people, with the story of Issei Sagawa and the late Reneé Hartevelt. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to comment down below your thoughts and click on the notification bell for any notifications for videos that will be uploaded in the future. And till then, my people,